And welcome back to BT. Of course, it's back to school week, and we're back to Kevin, actually, for a quick update on the TTC. Another problem.
I'm going to quickly interrupt because I know how mad Bruce gets when I cut into his time.
I know, you're cutting his time.
Serenity now.
Serenity.
Problems now on the subway. We had an emergency alarm activated at Wellesley Station, so all trains are holding on line 1 on the Young Line right now. So,
whoa,
there you go.
Thank you very much, Kevin.
You're welcome.
We appreciate it.
Back to Bruce.
Okay. Back to Bruce and back to Bruce. Okay, so we're talking to Bruce today about university and college students. Of course, it's a great time to expand your mind, have a great time as well. But Bruce Sellery joins us to talk about some financial tips so that you don't fail when it comes to the money side.
Do you know that thing about drinking 8 glasses of water?
Yes.
Have you ever done that?
No.
Never.
I don't think so.
I never have in a million years. So I hate financial advice that sounds like that. Like eat 12 servings of vegetables, never gonna happen.
Stop.
Here is one thing you actually need to do as a new student. Make a budget. Make a budget. I mean, seriously, make a budget. Pull out a piece of paper, do it on Excel, make a budget. Not as a great idea someday, maybe, whatever, 8 glasses of water, but literally. And what you want to include is the revenue. So that could be money from your RESP that your parents have saved for years for, a student loan, grandparents, your summer job that you've earned, all the revenue you've got, and all the expenses. Now, there's predictable ones like tuition and books, right? It's about $7,000-ish. But there's a lot of other ones that you need to factor in, like the Metro Pass you need to get to school, like entertainment, because if you're going to go to post-secondary education, you don't want to be in your basement every weekend. You want to go out and enjoy your new friends. So the first thing is to just make the budget. Don't even worry if it balances, because you want to be realistic about what it is that's coming in and what's going out.
What are some of the mistakes that people make when they're making a budget?
Yeah, well, they just skip things entirely. So they think, oh, well, you know, food, I don't know, I can get by on like 20 bucks a week. And you think, are you packing your lunch? Is that what's happening? No, you're going to school and you forgot to pack something. You're ravenous. You go to the food court. That's 10 bucks a day, 50 bucks a week, 200 bucks a month. That can really, really add up. The other thing is that people get into this keeping up with the Joneses university edition because I was telling Winston this, you know, you sit down and you make friends with someone and they're awesome and they're great and they invite you to go hang out on the weekend and you don't realize that they're actually completely funded by Bank of Mom and Dad.
Yes.
So they're paying for bottle service, and you're thinking, I am not going to have enough money to get home. So I'm going to have to hitchhike home or something. Don't ever do that.
Don't do it.
Don't do that. So once you've got the budget, then you can address the gaps, right? And parents love this. I'm a parent. I would love this if my kid came to me. I've done my budget for college. Here it is. How do I address the gaps? You're going to seem like the most responsible kid in the world. So show it to them to get their feedback and also to underscore that you're going to be accountable for making sure that you graduate with as little debt as possible. And for most people, it's impossible. There's going to be debt as little as possible.
Now, do you panic once you realize, oh no, my budget isn't balancing? What do I do to supplement now?
Yeah, never panic.
Okay.
No panic. We're going to be mindful. We're going to be zen. We're going to serenity now. But you can look at, so there's a gap. Let's say it's like a $2,000 gap. How am I going to deal with that? I'm going to say, mom and dad, dad and dad, mom and mom, could I have $2,000 to get me through to May when I'm going to start a summer job? And I'm going to know that in September, that in May, I've got to be working. Is there a way that we could, you know, fast track some of my RESP money? What's the way that we could solve for that?
Okay, so you can go to mom. Don't forget, you can go to mom and dad. And tips for parents as well, because they may feel obligated. You know, you're letting your kid out of the house for the first time, kind of on their own, giving them this individuality and this independence. They may be tempted to, oh, you know what?
It's going to be really fun. You should go to Venezuela with your classmates during reading week. You work so very hard.
Exactly.
Set expectations. So I joke, some parents, that's a value for them. They want to give their kids everything that they didn't have. And if that's your value, hooray, fill your boots, do that. Other parents, that's not their value. They really value work ethic and discipline and trade-offs, and they're willing to give their kids some money if they have it, but that's it. So just make those expectations very clear. So Abby is 6.5.
Okay.
We have been talking for years now about the question of how she's going to earn money to pay for her portion of college and university.
Oh, good.
So currently she wants to train big game animals like tigers and stuff like that. She's like, be a veterinarian. I don't care what the job is, because who knows what it's actually actually going to be. It's probably going to be a Subway restaurant or something, or, you know, who knows. But I want her to be thinking always that there was never a time when she wasn't accountable for a portion of that expense. She's just always known that she's going to have to pay for part of it. Right. The other thing that's worth underscoring is some parents have no money to give their kids. So the circumstance for those students is, I am completely on my own. And if that's you, go to financial aid right now, even before you go to the institution. Find all their resources, their cash flow tools, bursaries. Some bursaries don't get claimed because the criteria is so specific, like you need to be from this particular zip code and speak this, you know, first language or whatever. So go find out everything they have. The financial aid people at universities, they're doing God's work. Like, they really are amazing people.
Right. And then when it comes to credit cards, I know for me, I've signed up for my first credit card, I think, on the first day of university.
Probably.
Because I got like a free flashlight or something.
How did you choose between the 12 booths of credit card companies
all over campus. So so just avoid those.
You could have a credit card.
Yes.
It is a skill.
Yes.
It is a skill and requires discipline. Have one, pay it off in full every month.
And don't carry it with you.
Yeah, don't carry it with you because it's super tempting, right? There's less pain to putting it on plastic than there is to forking out cash.
Yes.
It's horrible.
It hurts. It hurts. And speaking of getting a job, we were talking about dream jobs today on BT.
Yeah. I totally have my dream job. You know, when I was 10, this is horrible. Ronald Reagan was shot. It was horrible. But I'm telling you now how old I was. I went home and watched television for 12 hours straight and said, I want to do that.
See that?
And here we are.
And look where you are.
Years later.
A few years later.
A few years
later.
Just like 3 or 4.
Yeah. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a good gig, television. Let's hope they keep terrestrial television around for a little while longer.
Yes.
A little while longer.
Yes, for all of us. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, Bruce, for joining us. And of course, it's back to school week. You can find all of this information on our website, breakfasttelevision.ca. We're heading to break now on BT. We'll be right back. Stay with us.